A year ago in Tallahassee, the Florida State Seminoles rose like a phoenix to score 28 points in the final quarter for a 31-31 tie with the Florida Gators. It was enough to take your breath away, and we're about to do it again 1 year later. And here the Gators, ranked third in the national polls, undefeated with 10 wins, will play next week for a third straight SEC championship. But the opponent this week is number 6, Florida State. Thus, there is a degree of uncertainty that goes with the matchup.
Number 19, Ike Hilliard, and number 12, Jaquez Green, are deep to receive the football for the Gators. They're in the home colors. Florida State, Scott Bentley will kick it off. They're in the white shirts, and we're ready to play a big one. And here comes Green for the Gators, getting a block on the corner and finding a crack that gets him all the way across the 45 and out to about the 46-yard line. So the Gators get very good field position for the opening possession as Danny Werfel, who's tearing up the record books, comes out. You can see what he has done in 1995. 2,547 yards and 29 touchdowns.
You couldn't ask for better field position on your first possession.
Over the ball is Jeff Mitchell for the Gators, and Werfel hunkers down. Here we go with it. Little quick pop to the left side over to Hilliard. Hilliard finds room, fumbles the football, and the Seminoles recover it. So Florida State comes up with a loose ball as Darrell Bush, the linebacker, pursuing the play, lays on top of it, and the Gators turn it over.
This is just the first of what may be a lot of turnovers when you have two teams as explosive as these. Right there, a nice play by the linebacker knocking it loose. And that's what you might see all day. You throw the ball around, you put it up and around, you're going to see some turnovers.
Danny Cannell is the senior quarterback. Look at his accomplishments for the year. 31 touchdowns, 2,700 plus yards. So here are the Seminoles now with Don and Williams lining up behind Cannell. And from the 36, Cannell throws same kind of a play. And it's swung out to a running back, Warrick Dunn. And Dunn will pick up about 10 yards on the carry. The Chile starting lineup. Warrick Dunn is an exceptional persona in this ball game because he can do so many things. And Pooh Bear Williams once in a while gets to carry it, but mainly he knocks them down. Put the ball at the 47-yard line. It is a first down for the Seminoles. The chain gang on the sidelines is all messed up. They have not been able to move it, but they do have the marker, the first down marker in place, and the chain is all tangled up. The officials haven't seen it yet. Back goes Cannell, throws, and the ball is deflected as it passes the line of scrimmage. This is an idea of what Warrick Dunn has done so far this season, and he can make you do different things with your defense.
He's been outstanding, Keith. Over 1,000 yards rushing for the second consecutive year, and he's caught 39 passes.
Quickly to the attack on second down and 10. The ball is thrown to Andre Cooper, number 1, the junior from Jacksonville, who's finally getting to play. Waited his turn, and he will have picked up another first down for Florida State. The offensive front is anchored by Clay Shiver, number 53, 280-pound senior from Tifton, Georgia. As Swanee told you, has been struggling with the flu this week. The flu has been an adversary for the Noles. Ball rests at the Gator 42. First down, Florida State, trying to strike quickly off the turnover. No pretensions at running here. Penalty flag thrown. Andre Cooper run into by Fred Weary.
Good
and
call.
The back judge threw the flag.
Good call.
That's a 15-yard penalty.
Pass interference on the defense. First down.
So it gets a hoot from the home folks. The referee is Courtney Mozzie Jr. It will effectively be a 12-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. So put it on the 31-yard line and make it a first down and 10 for the Seminoles.
Mark Campbell there is a top defensive lineman. He's got a little knee problem today, wearing a brace.
Out of the shotgun, air ball, they call it. The ball is batted down at the line of scrimmage. Cannell trying to throw through the crack, and big David Barnard, number 97, slapped it aside as if it were an insect. The defensive backs include Fred Weary, who got flagged a moment ago. The other cornerback is Antone Lott. You see that Lawrence Wright and Lott are 1-2 on the team in tackles. That's bad news in a way. Your secondary guys lead the team in tackles. Double wide, top of the picture.
Three-man line.
You got to do something quickly because the Gators are coming. The pass is away. It's over the head. Well, Cooper couldn't come back to it as the interior man, Lott, shielded him from the ball, and it's an incomplete forward pass. As Swanee told you, it's about 53 degrees as we start the ball game. The weather forecast has been for mild weather, but not so.
Keys today, Keith, for Florida State. Cannell, keep calm in the swamp, and defensively, they need to create some turnovers, which they already have on the Florida's first possession.
The Seminoles have been right at 61% on the season in third down conversion. It is 3rd and 10. Pitch it out to Gunn. Gets a little help from the tight end over there, and he's going to come up short of his first down. But he is inside the 25, and here comes the Florida State kicking team. Scott Bentley, the junior out of Aurora, Colorado. He was much hailed. And here are his numbers for 95. He's hit some bumps in the road at Tallahassee, but he's seemingly put everything back together. His longest field goal this season, 34. This one is from 40. There's plenty of leg on it, and it's good. So Florida State gets on the scoreboard off the turnover to lead 3-0. Well, you can tell that Florida State's in the swamp. They took 5 seconds longer than the norm to get the field goal.
It really bothered them, didn't it?
Yeah. So they'll kick it off. Bentley, and waiting for it again is Hilliard, and he's probably stung a bit because he was the man who fumbled the football and gave them the opportunity. We've yet to have a running play in the ball game. Here's a high hanging kick now. And this is Green. He's one of the special team stars for the Gators, and he is rolled down at the 20. And you get a little bit of the Jaws business aimed at the Florida group down in the end zone by Lamont Green. The Chile starting lineup for the Gators. The backs and receivers include Chris Dory, who was not recruited. He actually wanted to go over to Tallahassee, and Florida State didn't call him. So he came down here, walked on, showed up, worked hard, and has become a record holder. On first down from the 21-yard line. Werfel looks and throws quickly, and the pass is complete. That's 9 plays in the ball game, and we still haven't seen a running play. And it's good for a first down. The offensive front is led by big Jason Odom. He started ever since he showed up on campus. He's 298 pounds, and that whole offensive front is plenty good.
Awful good offensive line. In fact, both teams have outstanding offensive lines.
Ball is at the 33-yard line for the first down for the Gators, and Werfel turns, gives to the running back. Voila! We have a running play as Elijah Williams stumbles and falls at midfield. He had some more room to roam down the sidelines, but he lost his footing and went down.
That offensive line we were talking about, Keith, just opened up the hole. 75 is Young. 71 is Mitchell, the center. Nice little delayed draw play. Slips down. He could have picked up about 15 more yards.
Ball is right on midfield. The Florida offensive front has a combined 142 starts in game. That's a lot. Crowd gets quiet when the Gators have the ball, and Danny Werfel back, looks down the middle, goes short instead. He had Doring down the middle of the field, but took the short man.
Werfel pass from Victor Williams.
The Florida State defensive front seven, led by Andre Wadsworth. They're all good. Boulware, but they're also dinged up a little bit up front. Tarrant Marion and Orpheus Roy. But the three linebackers, Coward, Bush, and Rebold, create a lot of havoc.
The thing about Wadsworth, he's a defensive lineman, plays on the nose. He is the second leading tackler on that defense. Very unusual.
Which means he's two or three things. He's big, he's strong, and he's quick.
He's agile, and he gets around.
And indefatigable. Down the middle this time with a pass. It is caught by Dwayne Mobley, the fullback, out of the backfield, and he is just short, or very close to the first down. Now they put him right on the 40, and he may have his first down.
Samari Rowe is the top defensive back in that secondary. He comes in with 3 interceptions. Even though they lead the ACC in pass defense, this secondary has been burned somewhat this season for touchdown passes.
Well, they got hit by a big one in the Virginia ball game. That was one of the reasons they lost that ball game. It is a first down.
For the Gators, their stories, what they need to do, keep Werfel clean. That's going to be a key for both quarterbacks, but particularly don't let Werfel get sacked or hit down. And defensively, it's a done deal. You got to stop Warwick Dunn.
So first down from the 40 for the Gators as Werfel now calls the play at the line of scrimmage. And there's contact along the line of scrimmage as the ball is handed away to Williams, and a penalty flag is thrown by both the linesmen, the head linesman and the line judge. Here's Mr. Mosey.
Offsides on the defense. 5 yards. Still first down.
Or to be first down and 5. And Ike Hilliard is shaken up and will come out. At the conclusion of today's game, we'll select the genuine Chevrolet most valuable player from each team. So far, Chevrolet contributing almost $5.5 million to the scholarship funds of America's colleges and universities. We'll put the ball at the 35, 1st and 5 now, as Florida State leads off their first possession, and the Florida turnover 3-0. Gators now mounting a threat. Werfel has the ball slapped right back in his face. He was looking to go outside to number 15, Riddell Anthony, but the ball was slapped right back at him.
Yeah, Wilson, 55, Keith. And this is something that defensive linemen don't do enough of, I think, and that is when you're rushing the passer, and if you're not getting close to him, when his arm is coming forward, get your hands up and jump up in the air and knock the ball down, or at least force him to redirect his throw.
Well, both coaches said yesterday, get your hands up. Got to get our hands up. Both of them.
Yep.
Second down and 5. Pressure coming. Down he goes. Sam Coward with a sack. Coward came clean, got his man at the 45-yard line.
Well, one of the problems that they had in the Sugar Bowl last year, here he is on the blitz. The Gators did not pick up the blitz of the Seminoles, and this is one of the reasons right here that they won the ball game. They figured out where they couldn't pick up the blitz, and they got him. Steve was saying yesterday that it wasn't anything special that they did. It was just the running back that blew the assignment.
103 tackles on the year now for Coward. And it's 3rd down and 15. Werfel getting pressure from the backside. Caught again. Number 55 shot in there and got his man, Bernard Wilson. So Wilson gets the quarterback behind the line of scrimmage, and the Gators will punt it. And here's Swanee.
Keith, Ike Hilliard came out of the ball game because when that offside was called against Florida State, the play continued, and when the tackle was made, the back rolled up on his ankle. He sprained his ankle a little bit. He gave me a thumbs up, said he's okay. He went back in the ball game, but he is still limping coming off the field, Keith, so I am not sure how strong he is going to be throughout this ball game.
Robbie Stevenson is in the punt for the Gators. Dee Feaster is back to return it for Florida State. It's a low kick that's going to bound around, and he'll let it roll, and he should not have, because the ball rolls all the way back to the 7-yard line. A 44-yard punt and no return. Seminoles leading 3-0. So the Florida State Seminoles, after watching that punt roll down at the 7, will come out and go to work with Warwick Dunn and Pooh Bear Williams lined up in the backfield. They're in the I formation with Danny Cannell at quarterback. And they've yet to run a running play. The ball is thrown incomplete, intended for Melvin Pearsall, the tight end. Bobby Bowden, 20th season over at Florida State. See what he's done. He's under contract for as long as he wants to coach past the year 2000. Here's the first running play of the ball game for the Seminoles, and it's who else? Warwick Dunn, all the way out to the 15-yard line. Bobby Bowden is not only a football coach at Florida State, he's an asset. I mean,
and he could be a banker. I asked him for a loan the other day.
Steve Spurrier, on the other hand, only in his 6th season as the coach of the Gators, but again, rolling up an impressive record. I mean, you can talk all day long about what
all his records, no question.
It is 3rd down and 2. Dunn again. Won't get to the corner. Good defensive play by Lawrence Wright and James Bates, and the Seminoles will have to punt.
The Wright is the leading tackler in that secondary. In fact, leading tackler on the team.
Sean Liss, who's had 2 punts blocked this year, is in the kick, averaging just over 43 yards a punt. Normally gets a lot of wind under it, and he's got a howitzer shot that runs Riddell Anthony all the way back to the 28-yard line, but gets a little block on the corner, and with his quickness is able to come back close to the 45. Just beyond the 44 for the Gators, and Perry Jackson is in the backfield. 3 wide outs, and it on the play coming around to Jaquez Green, and Green is up close to the 49-yard line. That'll be a pickup of close to 5 yards.
Nice play by Boulware there, holding his ground on the reverse.
Whatever you have seen, whatever you think you might see, it probably will happen offensively today, and it reflects in those kind of numbers in the 90s for these 2 teams.
Every trick that's ever been invented on an offensive side of the ball, these 2 teams have it.
2nd down and 6 as Danny Werfel gets protection, throws a little bit behind the intended receiver, Perry Jackson, a redshirt freshman from here in Gainesville.
It's a poor throw. Just the communication between Werfel and the receiver. Werfel has been sacked 2 times early in the ball game, and that is very key. I mentioned in one of the game stories that you've got to keep Werfel clean. Florida State has already sacked him twice.
If his britches are dirty.
Yeah, not only sacking him, Keith,
well,
but getting to him and knocking him down, hitting the quarterbacks. That wears him out.
It is 3rd and 6. Pressure coming. Gets away. Got a first down. Danny Werfel runs for a first down, and that's new. But he's a nimble one, and he's got pretty good size. He's 6'2", 211 pounds.
Well, it's key that you have a quarterback that can do that, because that just turned a punting situation into a first down, because nobody was covered downfield, and Werfel just said, hey, man coverage, nobody's covering me, and he just took off. Troyer calling all the plays.
Danny, very level-headed youngster. He handles himself very well. Great deal of poise, I think. Just inside the 42, he hands the ball away to Jackson. And Perry Jackson throws some power running as he hammers his way down to about the 23-yard line. First down for the Gators.
From behind the defense, I think it's interesting to point out early that it's the running game of the Gators that's producing yardage and not the pass game. The Seminoles are ready for the passes, but the running game seems to be surprising them a little bit, and that's where they're getting their yards, on the ground.
6 minutes and 10 seconds remaining in the first quarter. Florida State leading 3-0. Gators are threatening. Got a man in the end zone. Touchdown! Chuck Green for the touchdown.
Well, here's Green out here. The inside receiver is going to come down and break to the outside. Green and he are going to cross. It's going to be a pass that takes a lot of time to develop. But watch the top of your screen. He almost threw this ball out of bounds.
Just barely got a foot down. The extra point try by Edmiston is good. And so the Florida Gators get their first points of the day at 6:04 to go in the first quarter, and they lead 7-3.
It's another quick drive, only 1 minute 14 seconds.
Well, these guys moving around. Here's the kick. Feaster, freshman out of Rock Hill, South Carolina, gets to the 15. And he's taken down at the 16.
Taken down at the 11. They pushed him back about 5 yards.
7-3, Florida has the lead. And Cannell sets him up. He throws to the sideline, and the pass is dropped incomplete. E.G. Green had the ball in his hands and heard thundering hooves behind him and dropped the ball. The swamp, it's called.
Yep.
And the grass is firm and the footing is good.
It's Johnson, Keith, a backup offensive lineman. Connolly, another backup offensive lineman, also getting in early in the game.
Warwick Dunn to about the 25. Maybe not quite that far.
There's Connolly. I think they're, because of the flu that's hit that offensive line and hit the Seminoles, they're going to be rotating those linemen in there all day.
Red Weary got into a little scuffle too, and he was told by his own teammates as they jerked him out of there in a hurry.
Oh, that's bad news for the Seminoles. Shiver, the center, who had a bout with the flu, going off with either an ankle or a knee.
Kevin Long will replace him. He's a sophomore out of Summerville, South Carolina. This is where the depth will show up now for Florida State, because they've got some players over there in Tallahassee.
Now you've got to worry about getting the snap. Young kid comes in. He's got to make the snap. Shotgun. Up. Straight T-snap.
3rd down and 2. They throw for it. The pass is good to Cooper. And Andre Cooper is up to the 35-36, and that will be a first down for the Seminoles. And so the Noles get a little bit of daylight now behind them. A little more room to operate.
The Seminoles are the number 2 passing team in the nation. The Gators are number 3. This figures to be a game for defensive backs, wide receivers, and pass rushers because of all the throws that are going to be made today.
Now they're in the shotgun. The snap is quick and sharp, and he hands it off to Warwick Dunn. Dunn wiggles around for a yard or so, and that's all. You know that the Florida Gators on every play are trying to account for Warwick Dunn. They want to know where he is.
Well, I spoke with Bobby Pruitt, the defensive coordinator, and he says we got a lot of different ways to do it. Some of them are man coverage, some of them are zones, and sometimes he's going to get us. But just want to win overall.
Rock Preston, a running back, is now in the slot. Dunn goes in motion. That gives them 5 wide outs. Cannell's pass is away. The pass is good to Cooper, and he is just short of a first down as Lawrence Wright takes him down.
Number 53, that's Clay Shiver, the starting center. He is down for the moment with a sprain of the right medial collateral ligament. They are going to wrap it, ice it, and see how he responds to it. Then they'll make a decision on whether or not he'll come back into play. But that's a tremendous loss. He is a key member of that offensive line, Keith.
Well, you got that right, Lenny. You don't want to lose your center. He makes all the calls up on the offensive line, let alone making the snaps for the quarterback.
3:32 to go in this first quarter, and Cannell is belted behind the line of scrimmage by Johnny Church, but dumps the ball off and saves the loss. And now the Noles will have to punt.
Well, we talked about knocking the quarterbacks down, making them think about that rush, and this is another time that Cannell goes down. Church with a nice job not letting him be fooled on that little shovel play.
Sean Liss is in to punt. First kick was for 62 yards. Riddell Anthony is waiting to return it. Another beautiful punt. Anthony calls fair catch and then decides, what am I doing? I'm on the 10-yard line. Let it go, and he does, and it goes through the end zone. So it'll come out to the 20, and that is a 56-yard punt. So don't tell me about this air ball business at Tallahassee that they haven't overlooked the kicking game. No, sir.
Well, they just don't get much publicity about it as they do as their offense and defense.
Well, Danny Werfel now has the ball back. Werfel and Steve Tannehill at South Carolina were tied with 29 touchdown passes in the conference. South Carolina's season is over, and Werfel now owns the record at 30. Here he comes again, and he's back to throw, and there's pressure coming, and he loops his pass over the head of Terry Jackson out of the backfield.
Good coverage by Coward, the linebacker. Number 56, he's playing this year for the first time. He took the place of Derek Brooks, who was top linebacker last year for the Seminoles. In fact, Coward leads him in tackles.
He drops a lot, too. He's
Yes.
back there in that short zone a lot. Very active. Those three linebackers are pretty good.
They are. One of them has a birthday today. Todd Reboll's 22nd birthday.
Werfel back on second down and 10. Gets his pass away, and it is worth 6 inches. Elijah Williams out of the backfield. Caught it. Brian Capers takes him out, and here's Lynn Swan.
And Keith, with these teams being able to score so quickly, if you went just by the numbers, you'd have 17 scores, 118 points, 62 points each, but the team with the ball last would win the ball game. The score would be 62-56. But when you look at this score, an anemic 7-3 for the Gators, when you look at their past history, give credit to Mickey Andrews and Bob Pruitt.
Defensive coordinators.
Defense wins big ball games. Third down and still about 10. Pressure up the middle, and it's Sam Coward with his second sack of the day.
One of the things you do when you go 5 wide receivers, as Florida has done, is you leave it open for the 2 linebackers. There's nobody in the backfield to help pick up. They're blitzing. One of them gets free. When they spread them out like that, the protection is suspect.
Robbie Stevenson in to punt for the Gators, standing at his goal line. Hit it about the 4-yard line. His first kick today was a 44-yarder. This one is not very good. It's fielded this time by Lee Feaster. And he's going to give the Seminoles a first down at the Florida 25-yard line. Not a very good kick. And Feaster brings it back. It's a 27-yard punt, and the Noles are in business just inside the 26-yard line of Florida.
Great field position. Special teams of Florida State have the advantage so far in this ball game.
Gators are leading 7-3 with 1 minute and 45 seconds to play in the first quarter. Liddell sets him up. Dunn is the beat man. Dunn skipping into the middle of the line will take it down to the 20. Ben Hanks makes the tackle. That's a pickup of 6 yards. Warwick Dunn, 5'9", 178, a junior from Baton Rouge. Folks at LSU wanted him. Went to Tallahassee. Second down and 4. Show blitz. Ball given off to Dunn. Dunn is decked right about the line of scrimmage.
It's the middle of that offensive line. You saw Clay Shiver a little bit earlier going out with that knee injury. Here's a look at Long. 51 is the man that replaced him. Blocks back. Tire is 66. That's Bates. Just throws him aside and goes and makes the tackle.
He beat Long clearly.
He certainly did.
All right, Cannell now will go to the shotgun. He's got 5 wideouts. 5 receivers spread out. One of them is done. Gets some pressures, passes away into the end zone. It is incomplete. It was intended for E.G. Green. Defended by Lawrence Wright.
It's good football right there. Both coordinators says we match up against these guys pretty well. They've got good fast receivers, but they have a lot of defensive backs. Wright, number 4, maybe one of the best defensive backs we've seen this year, Keith. He can do it all.
Scott Bentley is in for a field goal try, and it looks like it'll be 38 yards. Travis Chambers puts it down. It's got enough leg on it, and it's good. So with 27 seconds to play in the first quarter, Scott Bentley has his second field goal of the day. The first one from 40, this one from 38. It's 7-6, Gators. Of course, the big Mamu is waiting, we think, for the winner of this one. Florida still has an assignment left in the SEC against Arkansas in the title game Saturday night.
We'll get used to seeing this type of thing. I mean, only 4 plays, 6 yards, 10 and 18 seconds. Stroyer was saying yesterday that last year in one of the games they had 16 possessions. Usually you'll have maybe 10 or 11 possessions in a game, but when you get out there and you either score quickly or you're going to turn it over quickly, you're going to have a lot of possessions.
What did Bobby Pruitt say that Florida State had the 37 snaps, was it, the third quarter up in Tallahassee last year?
In the, yes, defensively,
yeah.
Florida had 37 snaps in the third quarter against Florida State.
Wore them out.
Oh yeah, wore them out for the fourth quarter.
High hanging kick. And it's Jaquez Green. He's a burner. And he doesn't mind working in traffic because he's a very prominent member of the special teams. And he'll come out to about the 25-yard line. A good deal of pride put on special teams play at the University of Florida, and those who make tackles off special team play are listed. They do a lot of bragging about that.
Well, I think that's good because if you're on a member of the team and you're not on offense or defense and have those stats, give them some stats for the special team tackles.
Harry Jackson and Jerome Evans line up now behind Danny Werfel.
There's Ron Zip talking to his troops.
And this is Jackson. He runs into a crowd after a pickup of about 2 yards near the 27. The speed on offense for both these teams is obvious, but the speed on defense. Ooh-wee.
There's Todd Revolt. Mentioned he has a birthday today. He's the one that knocked the ball loose earlier in the ball game.
Into the quarter, and after 1, it's Florida 7 and Florida State 6. We go to the second quarter of play, and over this season, the second quarter has been full of points for Florida. That's when the Gators have scored a lot, 156 points in the second quarter through the season. Second down and 8. Ball is at the 27-yard line. Werfel is back, and he's looking around, lets it go, and he's got his man.
Nice throw.
Right in the middle of a whole bunch.
Yes.
He finds Jaquez Green. First down and 10. Seminoles may have been in the neutral zone. Here's a big play for Terry Jackson. And for the second time of the game, turns in a power run. But let's see about the offside call. If it is offside, you know the Gators will take the play because that's the first down all the way down to the 46-yard line. They'll decline it.
All sides on the defense. Criminals decline.
Here's Lynn Swan with a fellow you all know named Smith.
That's right, Keith Jackson. Emmett Smith. Emmett, tell me your reaction when you found out about your knee that it wasn't as bad as you thought it was.
I was very excited, very happy, and relieved. You know, I was very stressed about it because I actually thought I tore something up, and pretty pleased of the results and looking forward to getting back to work now.
Hold on for a second. We'll be right back.
Werfel lets it go deep. Doring is under it. Penalty. Interference. 15-yard penalty against Byron Capers. And we're talking about Emmett Smith with Len Swan now, who hurt that knee in the ball game against the Chiefs. Let's go back down on the field for Swan.
Well, you calling that one. You got pretty excited when this touchdown was scored when you were down here.
It's not that often that a player gets to stand in the back of the end zone and watch a quarterback throw a touchdown pass right at his feet. And it was pretty awesome.
I know you're down here rooting for the Gators, but you did take the time to walk into the locker room to talk to Warwick Dunn. What did you talk to him about?
I've heard that Warwick Dunn was a big fan of mine, and I wanted to meet him. And I just told him not to run over us too bad today, considering he's a great runner, and I wished him well.
He probably was happy to see you, but is not going to listen to a word you said.
He's probably not going to listen to a word I say, but that's all right. Hopefully the Gators put us on now. Right now, like we're heading in for a score.
He may not listen, but I know following your footsteps is something he'd like to do. Emmett, thank you very much.
Thank you.
It's pretty good for an ex-Gator to go over to a Seminole and wish him well.
Emmett, of course, was a great start to University of Florida before he started playing on Sunday. Werfel back, loops it to the sidelines. The ball is caught by Anthony. Riddell Anthony goes out of bounds beyond the first down marker, just inside the 20, and move the chains. The Gators are marching.
That the previous play, Keith, the interference call on Capers, was a good play by Capers. It looked like he was mugging Doring. If he had the mug, he would look like it was going to be a touchdown. So Capers, even though he had a 15-yard penalty called against him, it's much better than giving up a touchdown. A rule that's different in college than it is in the pros.
19-yard line of Florida State, first down for the Gators. They lead 7-6 as we start play here in the first minute of the second quarter. Werfel back, looking around, lets it go underneath. Ball is caught to pick up to Jackson, will be about a yard or so. Good quick tackle by Sam Cowart, the linebacker.
Cowart's having a heck of a game already here in the first quarter. He's had several tackles, he's had a couple of sacks, and been on some coverages. So Sam Cowart playing a nice game so far.
Second down and 9. Danny Werfel, 9 of 12, 90 yards and a touchdown so far.
Three-man defensive line.
Going again. Down the middle, Doring for the 1. First and goal, Florida. That is the 40th time Doring has caught a pass for a first down.
Well, they go three-man line, but they blitz these two linebackers. But watch right here. You're going to see Doring. He's going to get down the middle of the field. Watch as the middle's going to be wide open, makes a move to the outside. This is just good throw right here. Doring almost gets it in. Florida State has blitzed 4 or 5 times. Most of the time it's worked.
Deep man is Jackson. Jackson's got the ball. Walks in. Touchdown.
It's a nice drive by the Gators. The concern now for Bobby Bowden is the Gators have scored 2 touchdowns. All he has is 2 field goals.
Extra point by Bart Edmiston is good. And so at the Swamp, on the campus of the University of Florida, the home team leads 14-6. Kick and game field position. All right. Robbie Stevenson just killed one at the 6-yard line of Florida State. Gators are leading 14-6, and now the Seminoles, with the backup center in the ball game, replacing Clay Shiver, Kevin Long, have to come out here and handle the ball securely at their own 6, with 6:15 to play in the first half.
You saw Spurrier over there on the sideline, kind of the offensive line going over their pass protection problems with that blitz that the Seminoles have been throwing at them here so far.
But the crowd jumps all over Florida State's offense as they come up to the ball. It's throwing to the sidelines. An incomplete. E.G. Green, intended receiver, and Cannell missed him. So the Gators looked like they were expecting Warwick Dunn to get the ball. And all of a sudden, Green is out there by himself. If he hooks up with him, that's a big play.
Green has caught 56 balls on the year for 10 touchdowns. Here's a comparison of two quarterbacks. Werfel having the better day of it so far.
Philip Riley is the wide man at the top of the screen. Peter, he can burn it. Second down and 10. They go to Dunn this time. Hit behind the line of scrimmage, but gets loose. Gets about 8 yards out of it. David Barnard, the big 97, got a hand on him, but he couldn't hold him. It'll be third down and 2 for the Nose.
Here's what you're talking about, Keith. Barnard right here, 97, going against the backup center. That's Kevin Long. Throws Long out of the way. Amazing thing, Dunn just sees that big Barnard and says, I'm getting out of here. I don't like the size of that number. I'm looking for some lower numbers outside.
There's a crowd. They jump all over him when he comes up to the ball, and he's going out of the shotgun. Nope, he'll go back under center. Dangerous down at the end of the stadium. And he's got to hurry and whistle, and they've stopped.
Dead ball. Delay of the game on the offense. 5 yards.
Let it fire this crowd up when they know that they have a factor in this ball game. If the quarterback can continue to just ignore him and get his plays off and not have delays of game, then the crowd says, oh, they don't hear us, we're not a factor. But now they're going to get back in the ball game.
It is now third and 7. Ball back at the 9.
It's always worse when you're in a closed end of the field, too, Keith.
Now lets it go deep, and it's over everybody's head. Here comes Sean List, the junior out of St. Petersburg, the punter.
It's a poor series for Florida State. They threw on first down and didn't get anything out of it. And then the next 2 plays were just nothing.
Looked like the crowd really bothered him.
Yes.
Now he's got a low line drive. That's not a particularly good kick because it's taken on the bounce by Riddell Anthony, and he's collared and taken down at the Florida State 49-yard line. Prudential halftime report. Wait a minute here. We got a ruckus breaking out here. The penalty flag is on the field. Let's see what's going on. Ken Hanks got into a shoving match in the Vanderbilt game last week. They thought he might have to miss the first half of this game, but they ruled otherwise and called the pushing thing unsportsmanlike conduct rather than fighting.
Personal foul on the kicking team. 15 yards. First down.
So the foul, probably frustration by Florida State, and the Gators will move it downfield 15 yards. And right now, one would have to say the Gators don't need any help.
Well, and Ben Hanks didn't have anything to do with that. He wasn't involved in that play.
Werfel back, good protection. Now he runs out of time. Down he goes. Pretty good play by Tourette and Marion as he reached out with that one big old long arm and got his shirt tail and took him down. He had time, but there was nothing available, so
good coverage.
Could go down, I guess, as the coverage.
Well, it won't show that way in the box score, but it was.
Yep.
And the offensive linemen don't like that, Keith. They want the quarterback to get rid of the football because it shows up against them. 5 wide receivers again.
Second down and 18.
That's where quarterback draw.
Blitz comes. They pick up Power. Throw the ball. He like Hilliard. Hilliard gets loose, and he's on his way for a touchdown. Great run by Hilliard. He was patient. He let it happen, scoreboarded.
Just good recognition by Werfel and Hilliard. And good coaching by Spurrier. You spread them out, you spread the defense out. You get some easy ones.
Bart Edmiston from Pensacola trying to make it. 21-point total for the Gators, and he does. So a 42-yard pass run play. Werfel to Hilliard. Hilliard waited for help to come. Got there, and he took it in. And the Gators are looking good at 21-6 with 3:54 to play in the first half.
Welcome back to the Swamp, where late in the second quarter, Florida once again moved the ball thanks to great running by Elijah Williams, with the Gators still leading 21-6. And now, threatening again, we pick up the action in the closing seconds of the first half, here on ESPN Classic.
Look at the numbers here. Cannell struggling, 8 of 21, 67 yards. Werfel, another big day.
First down just short of the 20. Danny back looking around, goes into the end zone for Gurley. Touchdown. That is a Southeastern Conference career record for Chris Doering, 30 career touchdown receptions.
And that one may have been the easiest one of all of them. You got to give credit to the players that execute it, but it's Spurrier that puts the system together and calls the plays at the right time.
Edmiston to the point. Good.
Well, here he is. He's just going to go downfield and break to the outside. He's going to have double coverage for these two receivers, but he's going to get inside the one in his face, the corner, release inside, up on the second one, and then break it to the outside, split the difference between them. And if I've got a quarterback that can throw him the ball perfectly, then I can run this offense. And that's what Spurrier has. He's got a quarterback that can throw it accurately, and he's got receivers. This one, not great speed, but just knows how to run routes and get open. He straightens it up on the second man, straighten it up. Now make you think you're going inside and break it out. Now right between the two of them. Now get the ball to me right now. I was at practice earlier in the season when the two of them, they were out there working. And Steve was out there throwing balls actually with the quarterbacks and running the routes. Now this is when you should throw it.
So the Florida Gators, with Doering's touchdown, have now scored 21 points in the second quarter. It's been a big quarter for them all season long. And Teague will kick it away now with 47 seconds remaining. And the Townsend-haired kid, Werfel, is having a big first half.
Took him a minute and 10 seconds to score that time.
High pop-up kind of a kick. Around the 12-yard line for Rock Preston. But he doesn't get a whole lot, and once he caught the ball, he gets it out to the 23-yard line with 42 seconds remaining in the first half of play. Remember, a year ago, it was 31-3.
Good point.
After three quarters.
That's 28-6. Look at the total yardage in the second quarter. You know, I'm sure that the first thing out of both coaches' mouths at halftime is going to be, remember last year, remember what happened.
Knowles on first down from the 23. 42 ticks remaining. Sin done. And he's close to a first down. Both teams with 2 timeouts remaining. Clock is rolling along. On second down and 1. Feaster is in the backfield. He's got the ball. He's got the first down, and that'll stop the clock as they move the chains out to about the 38. Now just 11 seconds remaining. Florida was the considered favorite in the view of those who discuss such things. Going on, if they win this game, to Saturday night in Atlanta against Arkansas for the SEC championship. The first half is done at Florida Field, and the Gators have been dominant, particularly in the second quarter as they scored 21 points and lead Florida State 28-6 at halftime. All right, it's first down for Florida now. The ball is on the 49-yard line. Seminole side of the field. Jockey Green trying to get around that corner, and number 6, Robert Hammond, won't let him.
Saved a big play there, boy.
Here's Lynch one.
Okay, a couple of weeks ago at the North Carolina game, the Florida State equipment truck suspiciously caught fire and all the equipment burned up. All their away game jerseys, everything else, and their equipment manager, Jimmy Callaway, this man standing right here, in less than a weekend got his team back together. Over $300,000 worth of equipment. But everything you see for this Florida State team is all brand new, from helmets to shoulder pads to jerseys to socks, everything. They did not miss a day of practice thanks to this man. Pete?
Suspiciously, huh? Oh, look at this. Wasn't he down?
Did the referee blow the whistle?
No, but he looked to me like he was on his knees when he threw it. I guess not.
Yep.
That reminds you of that fella from Nebraska, Mr. Frazier, who threw one like that against Colorado.
Yeah. That piece that Lynn just talked about reminds me of let's take a look at this replay. Somebody's going to have a hold of Werfel, and that's Bull wearing a 58.
Missed him.
Oh, slaps at the ball, yeah. Somebody in the side got him sideways. I don't know if his knee was down or not.
I can't tell. Elijah Williams, a single back. Danny Werfel giving some hand signals. Very quiet here in the stadium right now with a record time on hand because the Gators have the ball. He cannot deliver it, and the umpire throws a flag. Umpire threw the flag just as the ball was sputtering down.
That was a forward pass, and it was a blitz, and got holding on Florida.
Yep. So the game has kind of run into a wall here.
Well, the defenses have taken over the first 4 possessions of the second half, 4 punts.
7:14 to go in the third quarter. So the mighty offenses have been stilled for the moment. And Florida State desperately needs some. They need a big dose. They're down by 28-6. Stevenson to punt. Best one of the day was a couple of 44-yarders. Killed one down on the 6-yard line. There's another flag. Low line drive. D. Feaster gets it back across the 25 to the 26. And let's see about the flag. Could be an offside there.
Feaster on the return, stop by George. Flag.
No, it's against Gators. Boy, they had a terrible series.
They may want them to punt this again because Feaster is an excellent punt returner.
Yeah, they might want them to do it again. They've got it up on the 26.
Texas with a big win over Baylor. Well, they've got to beat Texas A&M to be in the Alliance.
Now they'll keep the ball where it is.
Here's a look at the quarterbacks today, the hits and the hurries. Cannell has been sacked 1 time. He's been hit 5 and hurried 4 others. And Werfel, although he's been sacked 5 times and hit 9, he has been much more productive because he holds the ball a little longer and has been throwing it deeper.
Warwick Dunn heading outside, splits him and gets the first down. That's the best run of the day.
Well, he is Mr. Excitement, that young man.
Warwick Dunn runs for about 13 yards, his longest gain of the day.
Reminds me of Emmitt Smith, who Lynn talked to a little earlier today, the Dallas Cowboys. They throw him that little swing pass behind the line of scrimmage, and you know that the first linebacker up or defensive back is not going to tackle him.
Cannell throws to the sidelines. Complete. He's out of bounds.
He's way out of
Was
bounds.
out of bounds.
Way out of bounds.
Here's Swanee again.
Well, Emmett, you have some observations about this game. Share them with us.
I don't think it's going to be a fourth-quarter comeback like it was last year up in Tallahassee. One, we got our fans here in the Swamp. Two, they're playing on the road. Three, these guys ain't forgot about last year either. So, and not only that, but Lucky Charmer's on our side this weekend.
Who's the lucky charm?
I guess all
Number 22?
all the players coming back. The last time I was at a Florida Front State game, we won.
So you're the lucky charm.
Might be.
Second down and 10. Cannell has a man wide open and hits him. Cooper. And Cooper's forward progress would be down to about the Gator 46-yard line for a first down.
You know, Lynn was talking a little earlier about that equipment truck for Florida State losing them. You know, when I was playing, there was a lot of guys that never wanted the equipment man to even clean their helmet during the week, let alone change it for a game. And I can just imagine there was a lot of favorites, a lot of superstition. Coaches wanted to wear the same pair of pants, the same socks each week, shoes.
Cannell looking around and throws it into the crowd out of bounds. It was intended for Wiley, number 15.
Remember, when I first went with the Dolphins, we had a guy by the name of Wahoo McDaniels. He was a linebacker, and you never got near his locker, let alone his helmet, because and that thing at the end of the year, you know, you could smell it from across the room where my locker was. But don't touch his helmet. Guys are funny about that.
Second down and 10. Dunn. There he goes. There he goes. Tough run. First down. Seminoles at the Florida 16. Tico Brown kept him out of the end zone. 6:15 to play in the third quarter.
We mentioned the game story is Dunn, and I think Dunn is a kind of a security blanket for Cannell. The better Dunn does, maybe Cannell's going to, come on, nobody can tackle him. He just runs through tackles. That time he hit the angle.
Brock Preston gives him a breather as the ball going right up the middle. Inside the 10, down to about the 9. That's a pretty good game. Close to 8 yards for Rock Preston.
Bobby's got the headset. Bobby's got the headset on now.
Is this the beginning of a comeback?
Might be.
Clay Shiver hopping around on the sideline, yelling at his pals. Can't play anymore. Bad knee. Goes to Preston. He's inside the 5. He's got a first and goal for Florida State. Down around the 2-yard line. Dunn's back in. And whistle stop him. There were people still running on and off the field.
Well, it was because of the hurry-up offense of Florida State. Florida didn't have their goal line personnel in there and called timeout. Bobby runs that speed-up, hurry-up offense even on the goal line.
The Gators have 1 timeout remaining. The ball is just inside the 3-yard line. Everything is actually touching the 3-yard stop. So it's first and goal, Florida State at the Gator 3. It's done. He's in there. Touchdown for the Seminoles. And the Gator hurt on the play. Ben Hanks. Wallet done, 15 carries, 100 yards, and now a touchdown.
A little interesting, Keith. Look at this. You've got 5 guys to the left of the center, only 2 over here, but yet when they run the play, they're going to run it to the short side of the field. Bates was there to make the play, but Dunn just got underneath him.
Hanks is being assisted a bit as he comes off the field. He's shaken up quite a bit.
They're down 16 points now, Keith. Everybody's got one of these things where you know when to go for 2 points and when not to go for 2 points. It's a chart that most all the coaches have in the press box, and it's a time-worn thing that if you're down by 16, it's beneficial to go by 2 because it gets you down. Only be down by 14 if you make it. That's 2 touchdowns. So there's a time to go for it.
It's a big difference between 12 and 14.
Yeah.
When you're trailing. All right. Cannell's up under center. Dunn comes in motion, becoming a receiver, and Cannell back to throw. Dunn, good. He throws to Green for the 2 points, and it's a 28-14 ball game with 5.5 minutes to play in the 3rd quarter.
Well, everybody has a 2-point play. At Florida State, they just kept sending guys out, motioning, and the defense was confused.
That's the first time today that the Seminole offense has looked sprightly.
Yes.
And it was keyed by the runs of Warwick Dunn.
It's a big play, big confidence builder right there for Danny Cannell. Has not had a good day. And I think the better that Warwick Dunn does, I think the better that Danny Cannell will do, because I think Dunn is kind of the pacifier, is the security blanket with Danny Cannell. It would be for me if any quarterback would have a back that close that can run and catch the ball. If he's doing well, it just picks everybody else up on the team.
It depends entirely on your perspective here as to whether or not you want to say, well, the pressure now shifts over to the Florida offense to respond, or does it shift over to the Florida State defense to hold them?
I'd say it's on the hold them,
because their team is down by 14 points. Scott Bentley will kick off with Green and Anthony, the deep people for the Gators. Not too deep. Makes it at the 8-yard line. It's Green. And he finds his way out to about the 27. Put a foot down right on the 26. So now let us see.
Yeah, Lynn said he talked to Steve coming out at the second half, and Steve said that he didn't mention last year's game at all to him. Well, I'll guarantee you, one of those coaches in there mentioned it to him if it wasn't Steve, because that's, you know, it's don't let this happen again. He says that's, you know,
has he gone a little conservative?
Well, I don't. He ran the ball well in the first half. I don't think he's going to be conservative on this drive right here. I think you're going to see him open it up again.
Okay. Warfield comes out on first down, lets it go down the middle for Hilliard. Got it! There's your answer. Touchdown. yards, giving Hilliard 6 catches, 2 touchdowns, and 192 total yards on the day. They don't like to see us come to town. Every time we show up, we have a big day. Edmiston for the point. 35-14 Gators.
The 2 things that Spurrier does with his offense, Steve, and we've talked about it. One, he spreads you from sideline to sideline with the 3 wide receivers. Hold it a minute. Now, then he's going to spread you vertically the way he throws the ball down the field. Hilliard, go ahead and run it. Hilliard was spread out. He had the defensive back spread. Now look at it. Hold it right there. You've got one-on-one. You've got one-on-one down here. Go ahead and run it. Now you've thrown it on the defensive back. You spread them by the alignment. You spread them sideline to sideline, and then you stretch them vertically down the field. There's from behind. Little play action on first down. Holds the safety. at the top. That's Hamlet. Great throw, good speed, got the ability, get your speed receivers down there.
And I'll be surprised if that doesn't turn out to be a will breaker.
Werfel says, we've done that before. Just a little class right there.
That is the 70th team touchdown for the Florida Gators this year, which is a season record in the SEC. This is Rock Preston. Waited too long to commit himself, and so he stopped at the 19-yard line. Here's Swanee.
Well, Keith, you were talking about Steve Spurrier and what he did at halftime. One of the things he also said was the way they were able to score in the first half was that they were able to find enough time to protect the quarterback. He said if he can give Danny, his quarterback, the time, that he will get the ball in the air and in the end zone. And another thing struck me about this team when they came out in the field, they're all making train noises, Keith. They're all saying this train is not going to stop until the game is over. They're looking for another 30 points in the second half.
First down at the 19 now for the Noles as Cannell rolls out. Gets his pass off, and he's got a man out there, and he caught the ball.
Great catch.
Right. Great catch by E.G. Green, and a first down all the way down to the Florida 46-yard line. First down at the 46 now, as the Noles try to come back with another one. This is done. First man got his hands on him, Antone Lott. He could not hold him, and he'll get a half a dozen yards out of it.
Go back and take a look at the catch before we took that update. E.G. Green, this was a throw. The ball hit the ground before he had possession of it, but fortunately for the Seminoles, the official was not on that side of his body to see it.
And they don't give him the half a dozen yards it looked like he might have had. He got only 2 because he hit the chalk. Here goes Dunn the other way. Look at that cut. First down.
Is this kid good or what?
Whoa. They had him nailed to the wall, and he just planted and cut back and picked up 8 yards, 9 yards, and moved the chains.
Ben Hanks, what a great career he's had here at the University of Florida. They unretired Steve Spurrier's number. Steve brought it out of retirement, so this is a good kid. The 5th-year senior, he's going out. This is his last game here at Florida Field.
He's already got his degree.
Yes, he does.
On first down, Cannell wants to go big. He's got Cooper, and he can't come in with it. Lott covering on the play. It'll be second down and 10 years later.
Well, Keith, if you count the officials, you'll find that you're 1 short because Tommy Hutt, the backfield judge, just went into the locker room. He felt a hamstring pop, and so he went out. There is no backup judge official on the field, so they're going with 6 for a while here. Keith?
Pulled a hamstring, huh?
Trying to run with all those kids.
That's true. Can't run with these guys.
Rock Preston in the backfield. Gets a block for his quarterback. And then he throws it into coverage. There was 1 receiver. Now there are 2 receivers and 5 blue shirts.
Yep.
That's not good odds.
So there's no question that the defense of the Gators, the secondary, is covering man-to-man a lot. But there are some balls that should be completed that are being thrown a little bit high by Danny Cannell.
3rd and 10. Down the middle. Green caught it and held on.
Great catch that is.
I mean, Green took the punishment, and Tico Brown is down on the field. Green and Brown, 2 colors.
Right here.
Banged together with fierce blow.
Right here. And look at this. The safety right in the middle of the field. He has a clear shot at this. The receiver knows he's going to get hit. Take a look at it from the goalpost cam at the end of the field. Cannell looking the whole way. Receiver hangs on. Tough catch.
E.G. Green has made 2 big plays in this possession for Florida State.
Tico Brown, the defensive back, is the one that stays down. Maybe a shoulder, maybe got the wind knocked out of it.
Looked like he got hit in the upper shoulder area, didn't it? 3:48 to play in the third quarter. Mike Harris replaces Tico Brown as he comes off the field to collect himself. He's working all right. Warwick Dunn and Pooh Bear Williams in the backfield. Pooh Bear's in front. Warwick following him on first down from the 15. He's close to a 5-yard gain on the play. Pooh Bear Williams, a 266-pound sophomore. He just gets out there like a pulling guard and lets it rip.
He doesn't carry the ball much. Pooh Bear is a blocker and sometime receiver.
Give him 4, make it 2nd down and 6.
Good defense.
Dunn in there for about a yard. He'll now have 1,235 yards, and that'll break Sammy Smith's Florida State season rushing record. Warwick Dunn's got a year to go.
Gained over 1,000 yards last year in addition, so that's 2 years in a row. Outstanding play.
3rd and 6. 3rd and 5, actually. Shotgun for Cannell. Nobody. Now he throws it in the back of the end zone. Cooper got a hand on it, but couldn't reel it in.
You're right. Nobody got open, Pete.
That'll keep you and me entertained.
Bowden decides to go for a field goal here, down 21 points.
Well, it is not a fake, as you might have suspected or have been suspicious of. He knocks it through, and that'll make it a 35-17 ball game.
That speaks very well. He's got a lot of confidence in his offense, and he can come back plenty of time to score.
2 minutes and 20 seconds remaining in the third quarter. As to the condition of Tico Brown, here's Swanee.
Well, Keith, they brought him off to the sideline. He has a concussion. They will sit him down on the bench for a while, see how he responds. He is not necessarily out of the ball game for the rest of the day. And when you comment about the way he was walking, you should have seen it from this angle. It looked like his legs were just rubber. They just barely got him over to that bench.
You knew that walk, huh, Lenny?
Oh, I'm very familiar with that walk.
You've been there before, huh?
I'll tell you, he will always remember that he was up in this ball game. If something were to dramatically change, he'll never remember the comeback.
Yeah, you don't have a slight concussion. I mean, I'd be very surprised if he comes back to play today.
You don't mess around with those things.
No.
No. And we've had a lot of concussions this year at all levels of football.
I think all of college football and pro football, Keith, the players are making, they're bigger, they're stronger, they're faster, they're hitting each other with more force, and it's outstanding play, as you've seen some great collisions here today. But the body is still the same, the head is still the same. If you hit them in the head, you're going to have concussions.
The kickoff by Bentley goes down to the 4-yard line for Green. Pretty good return.
Yeah, I'll give Ron Zook, the special teams coach for the Gators. He's done a good job all year long. They've blocked 7 punts as the Gators. They've returned the ball very well.
This possession will start at the 39-yard line.
If Florida State is to get back in this game, their offense seems to be coming alive. Their defense has to stop, or at least slow down the Gators.
Well, last time he went big on first down. This time he runs it. Goes to Elijah Williams, and a penalty flag. Holding Gators.
There's a bunch of booing going on because the faithful here thought there was a late hit. So did Steve. There's Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator. So there's no easy way. You have to mix it up. You have to blitz some. Blitzes were good early. In fact, they have 5 sacks on the day of Werfel, but the secondary has just not held up. When you put man-to-man coverage, the receivers for Florida have beaten the defensive backs for the Seminoles. And of course, Werfel has had a great day just getting them the ball.
He's poison for him. Matt Hilliard, every time he gets it, something exciting happens. But for a change, they're able to collar him and contain him.
I kill you. I'll tell you, he was something else, something special. He went out a little bit earlier with an injury. He came back.
Well, he had a big day in that Tennessee game, remember?
Yep, I sure do.
Huge day.
They don't have a shortage of wide receivers here at Florida.
Werfel all day. And throws the ball behind Hilliard. And the pass is incomplete.
Couldn't see. He had a pile of people right in front of him, and he couldn't see. Ended up throwing it behind him.
Denny is now 21 of 29 for 359 yards and 4 touchdowns.
Every time the Florida State band kicks up their little war chant over there in the corner, the rest of the 83,000 start booing.
Danny's got all day.
Same play.
Same play, same result.
Looked like the same coverage, too. This is the play that Steve was showing us on the board yesterday, Len and I. He got just exactly what he wanted, except the man in the slot who he was throwing it to couldn't shake loose.
So they'll have to punt. At 1:07 to play in the third quarter, 35-17 ball game. And Elijah Williams, shaken up, is coming off the field. So there's several folks being dinged up. Going up, goes through the hands of Stevenson, and the Seminoles clobbering. Back inside the 10-yard line on a bad snap from center. Kevin Johnson couldn't get the ball back to him. Right through his hands.
Snap was a little high and wobbly. You got to put that one on the center to begin with, but the punter could have come down with it. Big turnover in this ball game for the Seminoles.
It's first and goal, Florida State at the Florida 8-yard line. 1 minute exactly to go in the third quarter. Warwick Dunn in the backfield with Bear Williams as they work out of the shotgun. Cannell looking around. He's got Cooper. Touchdown.
Cannell's warming up, just like last year.
Oh my! Don't tell me folks are thinking about last year.
Yeah.
You can hear the breath go out of this place. 35-23, 53 seconds to go in the third quarter.
Bobby's thinking they're both, as I mentioned earlier, they both average over 45 points. In fact, the Gators average 47, Seminoles average 51. So Bobby was thinking, hey, we're going to score a bunch more points. And you know Steve's thinking about it.
1 point tried. Squibbed it through there. Wasn't terribly authoritative, but it was in. And it's 35-24.
Watch Cannell on this one here as I get this thing going. Here's Cannell. He's going to look to this side for the longest of times, but he's going to come back and hit Cooper from the opposite side of the field. It's not easy to do this. Watch, he's going to look to the right side of the screen. He's looking. Oh, he's covered. Now I see high, throw it high to the back of the end zone. That's something you work on, but very dangerous. You got to make sure you get it over all of the defenders and in between them.
3rd and 8. Intercepted. They got in his face. He tried to dump it off, and it is intercepted by Renard Wilson. But is there a penalty flag somewhere back upfield?
Illegal motion.
It's against the Gators. Seminoles refuse it. Florida State's ball with 7:01 to play in the game.
Pressure on the quarterback, and he tried to hit his outlet. The back was trying to slip through. It's another turnover, big turnover.
These guys could wear you out. You know that?
He's going to try. He's going to try and hit the back right here. He's going to step up and block. Now watch, as when the pressure gets there, he's going to try and pressure comes, little blitz. Back picks up the blitz. Now he's getting pressure, and he wants to hit the back that was blocking, and the man that was being blocked by the back intercepted the ball.
So it's first down at the 41-yard line, and Warwick Dunn will pick up 3. The coach. Agonizing. Second down and 7.
He's giving hand signals to the wide receivers.
Going deep for Cooper. Intercepted on the ricochet by Anton Lott. And coming back.
Well, we talked about turnovers earlier. There weren't many, but there's been a barrage of them here lately. Checked off to a streak down the sideline. Looked like that Lott may have interfered with Cooper. Then Cooper may have pushed off. And then Lott finally makes a good play. Looks like to me that's the defensive interference. And then offensive shoved him out of the way. That's just a good reaction by Lott.
That's an incredible play.
Yeah, it is. And
To
some
come
good,
at
good
this
camera
point of
work by our crew, yeah.
Come at this point of the ball game, it's just incredible. Florida first down on the 30-yard line. I mean, Cooper had the ball on his hands in the end zone and then lost it. Boom, it's back out at the 30.
Whew. Well, let's see what Steve goes to here. He's been throwing the ball all year. He just had one picked off in a strange manner, but still in all, it was strange when he picked off. He had another turnover that gave FSU a touchdown on a bad snap from a punt formation. So a couple of turnovers. Maybe it's time just to hold on to the ball, see if you can run it.
5 minutes and 20 seconds to play in the game. Whistle, stop him. 35-24, Florida. Penalty flag.
Dead ball. False start on the offense. 5 yards. Second down.
It'll be second down and 13 now after the 5-yard penalty.
That's a big interception there. I mean, Florida looked, they could have got Mickey Andrews, the defensive coordinator who had pressure, forced that interception by Werfel, and then Florida State gave it right back.
Werfel flips it up the field, and it's incomplete, intended for Jerome Evans.
Let's go back one more time and look at this. Florida State, if they hit this in the end zone, they're only down by 4, but little hand fighting, hand checking going on. He could have caught it. Then it was intercepted.
But that's a wonderfully alert play by Lott to realize where he was, where the ball was, all of that.
Yep.
Return it some 30-odd yards.
Lott's made some big plays. He's forced 4 fumbles and recovered 1 this year. That was his first interception of the year.
We're inside 5 minutes at 4:57. Werfel looking around, is hit from behind. The ball flying around.
I don't know. I think he's going to say that was. I think that was a fumble. He's ruling that as a fumble.
It a fumble. He did not wave it off as an incomplete forward pass.
And look, let me see. Let's see if his arm is coming forward on this one, up or forward. No, his arm was not coming up. That was a good call by the referee. The referee's made 2 good calls. It's Mawsey. Courtney Mawsey is the referee.
So it is 4th down and 21. Robin Stevenson is in the ball game, and Robbie needs to hit one here for the Gators at 4:10. Gets it out, and he did hit a good one. He's run Feaster back up the field. Ball bouncing around, and he has no chance to return it.
Kicked it over his head.
All the way down to the Florida State 17-yard line. There is a penalty flag on the ground back at about the 38 on the Florida side of the field. As of the moment, that's a 61-yard punt. Longest ever for Stevenson. They're discussing the penalty flag.
Hold during the kick on the offense.
Gators have made a lot of mistakes here in this 4th quarter, Bob.
Well, they have, and you know, the Gators have always been a highly penalized team. They're 10th out of 12 teams in the Southeastern Conference as far as being most penalized.
They've been in a position to kind of slam the door on this thing, and they just can't do it. So this is going to make them come back, and they're going to lose that 61-yard punt.
Have a hold during the kick on the offense. 10 yards, previous flag, still 4th down.
And
here's Lentz 1.
Keith, Elijah Williams, number 25, after x-rays were taken, that separated shoulder was downgraded to a sprained right shoulder. He is back on the sideline, but if he can't get back in the ball game, can't play, obviously he is not going to be a very happy young man. He came out inside and he tested his shoulder a little bit, but as you can see, he's walking around without his helmet. You know what that means. They took it away from him. They just don't want him to run back out there.
Well, they need him next week, too.
well, this kid running punt returning, Feaster, is very good. He's an outstanding punt returner.
So they lose a 61-yard punt on the hold call, and now Stevenson's back in the end zone, hits it on the 1, and this is end over end coming up field, and Feaster needs to pick this one up and move it back up the field, and he does. Almost popped out of there with it, but they get him just inside the 45. 3 minutes and 47 seconds to play. Put it on the 45-yard line and call it 1st down for Florida State.
Where that punt, where they would have gotten the punt was on the 17-yard line. Where it is now, that penalty for Florida effectively was 39 yards on the penalty. That much of field position.
Cannell's pass quickly to Preston. And he's taken down inbounds at the 41. So it's a short pass, short gain, and the clock continues to run.
Each team, Keith, has had the ball 15 different times. This is the 31st possession of the ball game. That is a lot of possessions.
2nd down and 7. Cannell down the middle, too high, intercepted by Mike Harris. That may do it. Mike Harris, who came on in relief of the injured Tico Brown, made the interception.
He just overthrew it. Here's the receiver. Here's the defensive back right here. They want to hit the square in. Just throws it a little bit too high. If he would have waited a little longer, may not have had time to wait with the pressure that was being put on him. If he waited a little bit longer, it would have been a lot clearer in the center of the field.
Florida ball at the Florida State 43. And this is Terry Jackson. Second down and 3. Florida trying to burn the clock. Give it to Jackson. And he's close. In fact, he's got a first down. Big first down as we show 2:17 to play.
What you want to do now is just take some time off the clock. If you've got a running game, now is the time you want to use it.
Ball at the 32. Gators have slowed their pace now. They're using all they can on that play clock. Werfel standing, watching it go to 5, 4, 3, takes it on 2, gives it to Terry Jackson, and he's cut down quickly.
Gators had 93 yards rushing. Watch him run it right down to 2 or 3 seconds. No, he snapped a little earlier.
And the play is behind the line of scrimmage defensively, so they lose a couple of yards on that play. No remaining backs. Everybody spread out from sideline to sideline as Werfel runs a quarterback draw. And he does not get the first down, I don't think. Fourth down, and the Gators are going to go for it at 1:08 to play. And Werfel going for the bundle to Doreen. Incomplete. So they needed 11 yards on fourth down. They elect to go into the end zone for it. And they don't get it. And the Tennessee has gone ahead of Vandy finally at 12-7 in the fourth quarter. So you almost had another major upset there. So now with 1:01 to play in the ball game, the Seminoles get it back. And this one is going to belong, I think, to the Gators.
With Ohio State, with Ohio State getting beat today, Keith, Florida will go up to number 2. And if they can take care of business next week with Arkansas, you'll have number 1 versus number 2. Nebraska and Florida if they get by next week, Arkansas.
That's an incomplete forward pass intended for Cooper. 56 seconds to play. Jeff Rowe just fainted over here, the executive director of the Citrus Bowl, the Florida Citrus Bowl, because they were sitting over there feeling pretty good about Northwestern Tennessee matchup, and now Northwestern looks like they're headed for Pasadena.
They were looking forward to having Northwestern. What a great story. The Cinderella team of the year, Gary Barnett, Northwestern.
Well, we keep talking about that, but I want to tell you something. What Danny Ford and the folks did out at Arkansas ain't bad.
Well, you're right.
They came from nowhere. Here's your third down and short. And the forward progress looks like it might very well be a first down. But what we're doing now is just simply running out the clock. This ball game is in the bank for the Florida Gators. They have a lead of 35-24. And the clock is running.
Well, we said John Cooper had a great year and Ohio State. What about these Florida Gators and Steve Spurrier?
Well, they were expected to be a good football team, and they have been a good football team. There's a lot of talent around here. That pass is intercepted on the ricochet, and the game is over. So you might as well just go ahead and sit down, son. The party is on in Gainesville as the Gators have defeated a Bowden. That's new. Your final score is 35-24.